Action.
Hi, well, welcome to our camper van video. We're getting ready to go on a 3-week trip across the country, and this is the configuration that we're gonna have for that. As you can tell, we've got blacked out windows because we got shades from Strawfoot up in the Monterey area. They did great, and so if we tour around here, you'll notice that all the windows are darked out. And if I open this one up, you can see that it's darked out, so no light gets out, so it allows for a more stealthy mode of operation. If we look at our trunk area is divided up into two areas. We've got our water area over here with a 40-gallon tank with a SureFlow pump, filter, and accumulator that keeps the water pressure at 30 psi. We have hot water, and so this is a 2.5 gallon tank. It takes about 10 minutes for it to warm up, and then these lines here will go to a shower when we come back from Florida on that. We got the fill spot for that. Over on this side, we have our electrical component. The electrical component we spent a lot of time on. So we have 4 Battle-Born batteries, 100 amp hours sustained per battery. So that's 400 amp hours of sustained power, peak of 800 amp hours of that. We have our AC breaker panel over there. And then over here we have various DC components. We have solar coming in. So we have photovoltaic to DC charging conditioning. The unit next to that is the DC to DC charger that goes with the alternator. In the very back is our AC inverter, DC to AC inverter. And then we have a breaker panel out here, various fuse panels. And then this cable here allows us to plug in and take AC in and then charge the batteries. So it's kind of a nice, tidy spot. We'll have bikes in here. We still got to mount our bike mounts, but that's basically it. I don't think we're going to have a slide out for right now. We're probably just going to mount bike mounts for this trip. Beds up here, and one of the things to note here is we each have touch sensitive lights with 3 levels of brightness and a night light, and then on each of them they have a USB. And then, because one of the things we found out from going to Death Valley is we didn't like getting out of bed to turn off the lights. We now have a 3-way switch over here that's tied with the switch over by the front door. And so that allows us to actually go through and be able to turn on or off the lights while in bed. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead. Why don't you close that door? We'll close this door. So if you come in to the space, one of the things you'll notice is we have our main cook area here. And so we have an induction cooktop. The induction cooktop, really you can have one at boil, but as soon as you do 2 pots, you basically are making a compromise on total power. And then what we have on there is, because we don't want that running all night, we just turn the switch on here, and then it turns the induction cooktop on, and then because otherwise it would just be flashing all night. And the other switch underneath is also for turning on and off the water heater. We have a gray water collection tank under here that is 5 gallons, and we just empty that out on a regular basis. We have hot and cold water coming into the sink. And then this is kind of nice in that it has a colander, and then it has a drain. It also has a drain colander that is in here, so it just helps collect food particles on that. A little tight for cleaning, but it's a nice sink. And it's held up one trip, so far so good. A couple of things here. We have most of our pot and cookware here. And we have actuators here, and so the pots and the cookware will go in here. And we have these click-clack units that go in and grab. And so what you'll do is you'll hear they'll come in and click. And so that's how you know that they're sturdy. And I'll show you later how we had the added foam to make that work. We have these C-latches now that lock in our refrigerator, and then the refrigerator has 2 units that can be used for cooling, and that can be either done for both on refrigerator, freezer, or a combination of the two. And you just basically push this in. We got support braces in here now to lock that in place. And then over here on these, what you'll notice is we put a little bit of foam in here just to make sure that they don't rattle, because we noticed that when we were bumping into them, they would just open, and so that kind of helps secure it. We have 4 drawers and a mirror configuration over here. And we plan on putting a top over here just to give us some more counter space. We now have a toilet area, and the toilet area vents out underneath for the composting toilet. And so the way the toilet works is number 2 goes down there, then you turn the handle to basically mix it with some peat moss. Number 1 goes in here and gets collected over here, so you can go out and dump your urine in a toilet or just in outdoors. And then the peat moss fermentation gets vented out outside, so we're supposed to not have a lot of issues with that. We have a bench now. The bench is, I'm going to take the cushions off, put them up here on the bed area. The bed is now 36 inches high, plus 4 inches for the pillow top. One of the key things was getting the step stool so we didn't kill ourselves going into bed. And then still working on getting a piano hinge for this. But what we have in here is we'll have a storage area, another storage area, and then our heater is in here. And so the heater is nice, and it's gonna make this nice and toasty. That's one of the things we really missed in Death Valley. We froze to death. And then over here we have the Lagoon tabletop configuration. We can adjust that up and down, and then the tabletop can swivel so that if somebody's in the passenger seat, we can actually go through and share a tabletop, or if I'm working here, I actually have something where I can actually adjust and work from my computer.
Is that the table, or are you gonna add a table?
We're gonna add a table. Okay. We have power here with USB, both standard USB and USB-C. And then over here we have our other 3-way switch for turning on and off the lights, another power outlet, and then we have an overall idea of what's happening with our power from our power monitoring system here. We don't have any upper cabinets, those will be added later. And then underneath this cover we have our fan, and that fan can be set to actuator, but this will actually be nice to keep out the colds, and it's just magnetically held in place. And then the last thing that we have is we have just a swivel chair, and the swivel chair just allows us to have an extra seating spot. So anyway, we'll let you know how the trip goes, and it's a lot of work. That's all I can say. It's a lot of work.
How long have you been working on it?
I've been working on this probably since November, so about 3.5 months probably total. In earnest for about 2 months. So shout out to
the wood ceilings.
Oh yeah, and shout out to Rachel, O, Dennis, Ashley, Bob, Tim, who have come over and helped, and a special shout out to Kim because she's been great. Anyway, we'll talk to you guys later. Bye.